Okay, I'm not sure if this is the start, but I'm going to give a little bit of a tour of the St. Francis prayer walk. This may be the start, I don't know, but it's looks quite nice. They have a tree that kind of starts off on the trail. Then they have just a path, gravel path, just a sense of holy, just by some trees, and benches all along the way. I think that's the key, having some benches. Now, what I don't see and what I'd like to be able to do is either attach to the benches on the back or on the bottom. They don't have the kind that you could attach anything on the bottom. A little box could be constructed by our crafts group or our activities, but that would hold laminated prayer slips that would have some prayers, maybe some passages of scripture on one side and the other, and they could be returned to the box, or they could be kept. And with our little piece that I use often to say that our prayers are with you, but it also keeps our name associated with it so that they know that that's where they got it from. So again, here we are, another little section that's been designed quite nicely. Of course, we have our own fountain already set up, and the nice thing here is, just like ours, there's a place where you can have a group gathered to begin the process and do the teaching of what the prayer garden would be about, or even if you wanted to have a small service. I'm thinking this year, for example, it would be nice to have our Easter sunrise service outside if weather is permitting. And of course, the other thing is I'd love to have it for our community as well. So the parking, maybe have one parking space reserved for a visitor from the community, and so designated. But here we go, in loving memory of Sister Maria Margetta. And again, that's just a little memory stone of someone that's being remembered. I don't know if that's St. Francis of Assisi over there or not, but certainly would be appropriate. As you can see, there's lots of little turns and directions you can go if you want. Each of them has a little bench or a little space. Most of our sidewalk is already set up this way. I don't know that we'd want to add anything to it. If we did want to add anything, I would suggest doing similar to what they have here. Instead of putting a path that would be concrete and permanent, maybe have a path which is this gravel stuff, but a little bit less permanent. You could change it more easily. But again, the dilemma for our clientele is the concrete path is probably the easiest one for them to take a walker on, or a jazzy. So we already have those in place. Again, this is McAllister. I'm pretty sure that's probably St. Francis of Assisi, or maybe it's the Good Lord. I'm not sure. Being a Catholic space, they could go with St. Francis of Assisi or one of the other saints. Like I say, most of it is just, you have different places and different ways to get from point A to point B. Here again, just a beautiful, beautiful tree that is set up, and here, it's just a space. Now, there's probably something about the organization of this, but you'd have to ask somebody in the Catholic faith all about this. But here again, we see some of the in-memory stuff that was put together. Each of these benches has a memory. I would say for our space, maybe just one or two more benches, or maybe, and that would be sufficient along the way of the paths that we already have. The other thought is, we already have another space or area too around the lake, but I'd rather just get started right there in the front for our community and the people that would have access that way. Beth, again, for you, I'd say, this is a chance to promote some things to the community. And if we do this during Lent, I would love to have some kind of an grand opening on the week of Holy Week, and have it promoted in the not only in our village news, but also in our local paper, so that folks would know that it is not just our space, but that we invite the community to come to this space as well. I don't know if I've done a good job with this, but I'm just going to do a quick panorama of the physical size of it. It's, you know, ours is much smaller, but that's fine. We don't, you know, we're not a big old hospital. We're just a community, the village, as they say, so much smaller. The other thing that I thought was nice, and this is, I don't know if you can see these, but a couple of these, let's see if I can get up under it, and if you can hear it, the chimes, geez, it just, again, there's a sense of peace, and again, it just has a way of capturing something. So that's another thing we could do. It doesn't have any lighting or anything for daytime. I mean, for nighttime. It does have a security camera. Interesting. I know we were talking about getting some security cameras, but all in time, I guess. But let's see if I can find my way back out. And this is it. Over and out.